For whatever reason, the theme of this month appears to be employment law. We had a very interesting and rather different case that came across our desk some weeks ago. We were contacted by a client who said he was absolutely flabbergasted to receive a rather large claim from a person who claimed to be a senior member of his team and indeed was asking for huge sums of money, gratuity for having worked at the company, and also could not prove that he had any company email. When we looked into this further, it so transpired that our client had a big management team around him, and one of the senior managers of that team had indeed fraudulently, or rather forged on the company letterhead, an employment contract for this person and had been sort of secretly hiring him. Not that he was doing anything to our knowledge, but obviously the employee thought he had been hired by our client. Our client wasn't aware of this. And the person in the management team, when we confronted him, did not deny that this had happened, and he was very sorry for the situation. However, sorry doesn't often cut it in the law. You have to deal with the situation at hand. So what we did was we launched an investigation against the senior member of the management team to figure out exactly what he had done and what issues had arisen or led to this particular forged hiring. And then we were able to run a dismissal process against him. And then we ended up having to talk to the employee and effectively finding a way around to help him and relocate him into another position, because he finally understood that our client was not his employer and he should have done his due diligence before considering that he was working for a company for several months, in fact over a year, without ever having met the CEO or the founder of the company. I know, pretty ridiculous, right? But I think the lesson in all of this is that when you hire senior members of staff and your close management team, you need to be super clear about the level of authority you're giving them. So like what I call the matrix of authority, because I have really nice words for everything. You need to be clear around you what the people believe they can do. So obviously hiring somebody, offering him huge sums of money, not doing any work is clearly beyond anyone's authority in my view, but it did happen. So here we go. I think when you're dealing with somebody, ask them for their power of attorney or an article or the memorandum of association if it's an LLC to show that they are actually empowered under it if they're the general manager, or on the trade license or some other document to prove that they actually can bind the company to spend huge sums or have the right to hire you. Interesting case, and as I said, it's employment month, so perhaps we'll discuss a few other interesting issues later this month.